Hello. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the weekly recaps of the studio. We are on episode 8 already. Where has the time gone? Time flies when you're having fun. This week sees Matt and company attending the Golden Globes. In the episode, Matt is a producer on a film by Zoe Kravitz, and it looks like she very well could win the award. So Matt really wants to be thanked in a speech. His mom's watching at home. He really wants to be thanked. And that's kind of the gist of the episode. In true studio fashion, Matt's running around causing chaos, causing problems, all just to be thanked in a speech. Meanwhile, Sal Saperstein runs into Adam Scott and they have an old past connection. So Adam Scott actually thanks him in his acceptance speech and causes inadvertently a wave of people thanking Sal Saperstein all night long, much to Matt's chagrin. If you haven't watched episode 8 of the studio yet, this is your warning. Come back later. I think this is really where Matt's incessant crave for validation comes out in a chaotic, almost ugly way, and he really loses sight on the big picture. I think Zoe Kravitz is really fun in this episode. I think she plays really well in this kind of environment, and she has great chemistry with Seth Rogen. I think she really understands the tone and is just firing on all cylinders. I think she's terrific in this episode. Again, love the running bit of everybody thanking Sal and how silly that gets, and it only fueling Matt's desperation. And I think it's almost in a way it shows how silly these award shows kind of are. Ultimately they don't mean anything, but it is also nice to be shouted out and thanked. Sal doesn't not enjoy it. He kind of goes into the night the Golden Globes, and he's kind of stuck in the back. He doesn't see it, but as the night goes on and he's being thanked by more and more people and getting attention, he starts to really, pardon the pun, drink the Kool-Aid. He really gets into it and enjoys himself, because ultimately at the end of the day, it's nice to be validated. It is nice to be thanked. Matt's not a bad person for wanting external validation. He just wants it a little too bad. It culminates in Zoe Kravitz's movie winning, and Catherine O'Hara's Patty gets her moment in the spotlight. But as Matt's waiting on the thank you, the music cuts off right when she's about to thank him. So he doesn't get a televised thank you at all. The only reason Zoe Kravitz does it is because he's gonna fast track another project for her. He leaves kind of dejected. His mom didn't see it, but she comes out on the carpet and she goes, I am appreciative of you. Her attitude toward him has completely flipped because she got something from him. And I think it is a lovely little showcase of how transactional this industry is. I don't think either of them are evil per se, but it is a showcase of how transactional this industry is. And this fictional version of Zoe Kravitz gets something good for her, so she completely changes her tune and decides to thank Matt, albeit it's timed very suspiciously toward the end. It's one of those, she can't say she didn't do it, but she doesn't do it. So in a way, she held up her end of the deal. There's also a really funny cameo from Ted Sarandos, who is the head of Netflix. In fact, he has been making some headlines lately for kind of championing not going to the theater for your movies, especially when Sinners is booming. We've had the strongest box office weekend as of recording this we've had in ages. It's a really weird take, but he's in there, and it is actually really funny because Matt approaches him and is how do you get so many people to thank you? Because everybody who is on a Netflix project winning does thank him in a speech. That is a running thing. He goes, oh, it's in the contract, they have to thank me. And it is this aha moment for Matt. And I think I've talked about it in previous episodes of my recaps, but the studio head is kind of both a door and a barricade to getting what they want. I think that joke of it being in their contract is kind of funny. They have no choice but to thank him, even though he has not contributed to these projects in any meaningful way. And Matt even says well, we're artists too. We do contribute, we get it done. And Ted Sarandos is I'm not an artist. Just flat out says, I'm not an artist. And I think that moment, one, is hilarious. It made me guffaw, but it's also very interesting because we talk about it a lot when we talk about the industry. We talked about it a lot with the strikes, how a lot of these people in charge of these studios who have the fate of a lot of this art in their hands don't actually make art. They come at it from a business angle. They have never made art, actually. They just run this like a business and operate it like that. And you can tell that stings Matt a little, and he's kind of wait a minute, what? Matt in his heart of hearts wants so badly to be perceived as an artist and a part of the project, and in a way he is providing the path for this art to be made, but from there, he's not really involved in the creation of it, and that's so evident from like the way the other actors and creatives feel about him when he shows up into their space. Like they aren't feeding that delusion. The back half of this season is so great. I think they're really like hitting it hard. I love this episode. It's been banger after banger with the studio. Make sure you do all the things you're supposed to do on a YouTube video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and follow me everywhere. And I will see you on the next one. Bye.